Hey guys, we got a special guest. Thank you for tuning in to this special episode. And we have the owner, founder of Stogiebird. We have Sam Leccia, and he's coming from Pennsylvania. Is that right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. All right, man. Well, welcome to the show, and we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us, man.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And just so everybody knows, you guys know we're doing a auction to raise money for Cigars for Warriors. And Sam didn't blink an eye. He's like, yeah, I'll donate to that. So we appreciate your support. I mean, it's been amazing how the community has been supportive, but I've also been like kind of, wow, you don't want to support that? But I ain't going to mention any names. But anyway, thank you for stepping up and, being a team player.
Yeah, of course. No worries. When Ashley mentioned it, I said, no worries. She's like, I can send all the information. I'm like, it's fine. If it's, I didn't even know what it was for. So you said it, what's the,
it's for
when
Cigars
she just asked me
Warriors.
if I wanted to donate, I was fine with it because of who she is and we work together. So I was,
Nice.
I didn't really give it much thought. I figured if she was behind it, I was fine with it.
Hey,
what is it though?
It's Cigars for Warriors, and you know who they are, right? Or you do?
Of course.
Okay, so they send care packages overseas to the troops that are overseas.
Right. So what is my donation for? What is this? Is this going to go just to the troops, or is it for a raffle for someone
it's
to
for an
donate
auction.
money so that goes to the troops?
It's for an auction. We put what you're donating up on the auction site, and then we're auctioning everything off. And at the end of the day, we take all that money and we actually present that to Cigars for Warriors. And then they will.
So I'm going to change my donation then.
Okay.
We're going to do a year subscription.
No shit,
Stogiebird.
dude.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know what this was for. She asked if I wanted to donate. I said, sure, no problem. So I just gave her, I was going to give you our best seller, which is our 8-pack. But I didn't know what this was for. I was driving, so I didn't really. I'm always busy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get. Yeah, sure, we're in. I didn't want to waste any time on it. So
thank you so much, man. That is huge. We'll do a year. That is badass.
We'll do a year subscription for sure.
Thank you so much,
that's something,
Sam.
That's something worth bidding on.
Absolutely, dude. That's huge. I mean, a year of the Stogie 8 is a badass package. That's 8 cigars a month. Yeah. So let's dive in a little bit, Sam, and tell me a little bit about your history. And let me tell everybody that's watching, and let me change it to the speaker view because nobody wants to watch me. Anyway, so just so everybody knows, he's way older than he looks. Okay, guys. So he has a lot more experience than what you would normally give him credit for. Dude's over 40. Anyway, how did you get into the cigar industry?
I've got a lot of stories I've got a lot of quick one-liners as to how I got into this business, but I smoked cigars since high school. So I think it started there.
Wow.
I blame Michael Jordan.
Where'd you grow up?
Elizabeth, PA, just outside, just Pittsburgh. And I'm back in Pittsburgh. I was in the Navy, so I lived out in California.
Oh, well,
I stayed out there.
Your service.
Yeah, sure. And I worked in the liquor business. So I ran California for Jack Daniels. And I lived in Connecticut where I worked for Bacardi. Anyway, so I was in the liquor business and I used to always smoke cigars. I used to always do cigar related events with the spirits that we were promoting, and I would always trade booze for cigars I couldn't afford. So, it was just something that I was always a part of. And I had I was fortunate to go on a cigar trip, sort of been like in 99, I think, at the Camacho factory, which was, then owned by Christian.
Was that in Honduras?
Yes. This was before Camp Camacho even existed, but we were like the first group to go down there. That's when there were monkeys and all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh yeah, dude got bit by a monkey. Another dude got bit by a spider. The spider bite was 10 times worse than the monkey bite. That
How
dude had
big?
like this
Ah.
big, he had this big like softball on his head. He got bit in the head when he was sleeping, and he was my roommate.
Wow. So, I mean, did they like have a hospital to go get him checked out? I mean,
They did. I mean, I don't really recall. You know, fortunately, it wasn't me dealing with it, and there was so much excitement going on. I remember more of being, you know, more of the factories than the
and you were
incidents.
probably
Truthfully,
in awe. I mean, did you get to meet Christian at that time?
well, I mean, yeah, I knew Christian before going down. I used to, again, being in the liquor business, I used to tie a lot of these cigar guys into some of my stuff. So Christian is probably one of the first guys I knew in the business, and I've known him a long, long time. He's a friend. I consider him a friend. I've known him a while, um, and so in fact, you know, we had talked about doing a lot of different things with Bacardi and Camacho at that time. But so yeah, and we got to you know, we spent the whole whatever, it was like a week or almost 10 days down there.
Nice.
And Christian was my Domino's partner for most of the
Oh,
nights down there. So
wow.
yeah, for sure. In fact, I did a big Bacardi logo on the wall. There, you used to be able to sign a wall down there. Um, I'm sure it's all filled up again. It was a white brick wall when I was down there. So I took up the whole thing, and I did the Bacardi logo on it, and then I signed my name by John Sally. I guess he was there, and I signed it right by him. But there weren't that many people on that wall at that time.
And it was probably like, because you know, now there's tons of tours you can book yourself on and go down there to a farm. But
There
back
was nothing
then,
like that then.
that was
We're
not a
talking, yeah,
tour. That
no,
was
no.
come down here and hang out and check it out.
Yeah, it turned into that. Like they said, they turned it into the Camp Camacho, and you know, we were just the first kind of guinea pigs before. You know, they're like, yeah, this is working. We can do this. But you know, yeah, it was a great time, and I
Was that a
think
very big learning experience that kind of like made you say, wow, I want to do this?
we were with a group of like 20, maybe 25 guys, and more than half of them, half of us, are still in the cigar business. We weren't when we went down,
Wow.
and we got in because we went down, and we're all still in. So yeah, it was a life-changing thing for sure. It's one of the coolest experiences of my life. I'll never forget it.
And how old were you when you went?
99. I don't know. I don't know.
20,
I'm not good at math.
22
It
years
was, it
ago,
was in my, I was in my 20s. I
you're
was in my early
24.
20s.
Boom.
I was as old as you think I am now.
Well, that is so cool, man. I mean, that what a great experience at that age. You know what I mean? Like the experience wouldn't be the same for you now because you have experience, but being 24 going down there, and I mean, have you been out of the country before at that time?
Well, sure. I mean, I was in the Navy, so I've been
Oh,
to
you
all
were
over,
all over the
I,
world.
for sure. And I lived in San Diego, so I was always in Mexico. And being in the liquor business, I've been to so many distilleries, so there was just a lot of you know, similarities between, you know, cigars production and you know, whiskey production or spirit production. As far as kind of the passion and the lure and the mystique, there's a lot of cool similarities, a lot of cool vibes there. So it was a very simple transition, really, to go from liquor to cigars. Um, and you know, it was just something that I got excited about. It's been fun ever since.
So back, you said you started smoking cigars back in high school. I mean, were you smoking cheap cigars, good cigars? I mean, back when you were,
Yeah. Again, I think this was. I blame Michael Jordan. I was a big basketball fan growing up. I graduated in '94, so the Bulls had already won. I don't know how many championships by '94. You know, and then growing up in Pittsburgh, we didn't have a basketball team, so Jordan was my guy, and the Bulls were my team. And Jordan won a lot of championships, and he always had a cigar. So, I mean, my dad didn't really smoke cigars; he was a cigarette smoker. So I didn't really have any cigar influencers per se in my life. But Jordan sure seemed to enjoy him, and I wanted to be like Mike, I guess.
yeah,
So we all my buddies, we'd go down to where was it? It was like you know, whatever convenience store, and we bought a box of Phillies Titans. And it was the first box of cigars I ever bought. You know, it was the coolest thing. I had boxes of cigars because I had my baseball cards in them and whatever else from, everybody, nobody threw away cigar boxes. You know, it was always, like I said, even though my dad didn't smoke cigars, we still had cigar boxes in the house. So this one was mine and I had bought it and it was full of cigars. And it was the first time I'd ever, had that. So it was kind of cool.
Wow.
And we smoked cigars. My dad or my family, we had a pool table in our downstairs. So just me and my buddies would smoke cigars and shoot pool all night and, think we were tough guys.
Hey, those were the days, right?
For sure. I still hang out with that same crew.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. So let's skip ahead. I mean, like you had a lot of experience in the cigar industry. We talked before that we started the show. You've done blending, you've done cigars. When did you decide to come up with Stogiebird?
Well, I mean, in some regards, it was kind of a desperation shot. I've been, up and down and all around in this industry, I had lost my distribution when Tarano had sold. I had Leccia Tobacco and the Luchador. Tarano was my business partner and distributor, and he sold his entire company, the factory, everything, including his, the distribution to General Cigar. And so I didn't have any, I was looking for different ways to distribute my product. And then I ended up going with General for a short while. That didn't work out. So it's just really ever since, leaving Oliva, it's been just up and down, up and down. The Luchador and the Oliva Tobacco Leccia Tobacco were doing really well. Luchador got, I think it was a 93 rating, Cigar Aficionado. Things were doing really, really well. And then General took it over, and I'm not saying I like a lot of people at General, but my brand just got lost in it. So I'm not, I'm not.
It's hard to stand out when you're in a conglomerate.
For sure. And I was still complete owner of the brand. So there was really no incentive for General to put a lot of money behind it either. So it was a weird relationship to say the least. But I still get along with the people that are currently at General very well, actually. The ones that I didn't get along with are no longer there. But what was the actual original question? How did I go down this path?
So you said it was kind of a desperation move to
yeah. So I was doing Leccia Tobacco kind of direct to consumer on the website. And that's a tough business all on its own, going from, a wholesale retail to trying to do everything, out of a website that nobody knows exists. So it was difficult. But I started doing, I met up, or someone reached out from Cody Rhodes' camp to do a cigar for him, and that's when the American Rebel came to light, and so that kind of brought some new life. But what Cody and Kaz, Cody Rhodes and Frankie Kazarian are professional wrestlers, for those who don't know who they are. Cody is now in the WWE. He's soon to be probably the champ here, probably by the end of summer. And Frankie Kazarian is a wrestler for American or AEW. They were both in AEW, but whatever. So anyway, they're my business partners in regards to American Rebel. And they were asking, we were only doing boxes, of course. I mean, that's what I do. And they were asking if I would ship, 2 cigars or 3 cigars to customers. I'm like, what? This isn't what I do. I don't want to ship 1 box, let alone 2 cigars. I want to ship 10 boxes, 15 boxes, 100 boxes. So I really wasn't into it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't have any desire to be a fulfillment center. So I gave a price that I was hoping would be denied, and they took it. So I ended up shipping small amounts of American Rebel. And then I'm realizing then business started really picking up because everybody just wanted a couple. And, I started seeing the benefit of doing it. But I'm like, I'm shipping out all these cigars. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows the Leccia Tobacco. Nobody knows where these are made or how, I'm not really gaining any momentum from this customer base. And that's when I said, you know what, let's try this in a subscription. So I kind of put out some feelers on my website to see if there was any interest, and there was. And I kind of did some trial runs, if you will, with Stogiebird. We bought Uline tubes and put stickers on them, and kind of ran with it, and it just blew up. I mean, it's been insane since that day, and that was 2019, and here we are, 2022, and we're looking to get a building, a 6,000 square foot building. We might even put a wrestling ring in it.
Nice.
Things have really grown, and it's just taking their own life. A lot of things moving.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you know Terry Runnels?
Of course.
We had her on back in the fall, and she was a cigar smoker.
Well, Terry was married to Dustin Rhodes, who's Cody's brother.
Right.
So yeah, we know each other.
Cool.
Runnels is Cody's last name, and Dustin's real last name. That's their last name's not Rhodes, it's Runnels.
Oh, I did not know that.
It was, Dusty Rhodes is Runnels. It's not his it was just a stage name.
Ah, gotcha. So, well, let me ask you this. I love the logo. How'd you come up with that? Did you come up with that?
Of Stogy Bird?
Yeah.
Or of what?
Yeah, Stogy Bird.
That was probably the simplest logo design.
Yeah, but that's what's so beautiful about it. It is simple. You know what I mean?
And my VP is sitting across from me shaking his head because apparently he worked really hard on that simple logo that looked very similar to the one I wanted from the get-go. But
well, it looks fantastic.
I wanted something very simple. Stogie is a very it's a local term. Conestoga, PA. Made wagons. They carried tobacco. They ended up calling the wagons, and they still call those wagons Stogie wagons because they were made in Conestoga, and they ended up calling cigars Stogies because of that. So Stogie is a very Pennsylvania local term that I wanted to use, and Bird because we ship them out. They go all over the world. We're in almost 30 countries.
I mean, when you hear it, you're like, when I first heard it, I was like, Stogy Bird, and then I was like, well, that makes absolute sense because they're delivering cigars.
We're in almost 30 countries.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So I think it was on your website, it said the fastest growing cigar subscription service around. So you must be really growing fast.
Well, yeah, I mean, every month is a new record. So awesome. That's kind of how that works. It's been pretty fun.
So, tell me about the cigar subscription. Like when someone orders one of your boxes, what are they looking for?
I don't know what they're looking for, but I know what they get. Okay. So the better question is, what do they get, maybe, or what are the options? And we have more options than I believe anybody out there. I truthfully don't pay a whole lot of attention to anybody else because I'd be too busy worrying about them and not about me. But I would assume we have way more options than anybody out there. You can get 2 cigars for $20. You can get 5 cigars for $40, 8 cigars for $60. Those are all of our subscriptions include free domestic shipping. And we also have an 8 bonus. Our 8 is by and large our best seller. So we added the 8 bonus, which gives you 4 additional cigars. So it's 12 cigars for, what is that one for? Is it 90? I think
$90.
I think it. And then we do what I find is one of my favorite lines is the brand of the month, which gives you, this is a program that I work hand in hand with the brand owners or the brand managers. And I say, look, this is a customer's maybe first chance of smoking your stuff, or maybe they had one of your cigars, maybe they liked it, maybe they didn't, but here's a chance for them to have, 8 of your portfolio. What do you want my customers to have, based on what?
I love that feature or option that you give them, because for me, I might go into a cigar shop, smoke one cigar, didn't blow me away, and then I never smoke that brand again. But if I have a pack of 8 and I can smoke several, 1, it gives me the opportunity. 2, it forces me to smoke that brand, and now I can really get to know that brand versus me walking into a cigar humidor where I don't even know the brand.
Right. We try to make that brand or that program a little. We try to make it a little personal. We try to get as much information as we can from the brand. If they can provide any additional literature about their company, about just to me, that's what this is all about. And then there's also we try to do or try to get like a tchotchke item included with that as well. Like this month is crowned heads, and you get 8 crowned head cigars, and you're going to get a crowned heads lighter as well. So
Oh.
and then you get a it's all right here actually. Here's you get a lighter. It's all sitting in front of me.
Nice.
Nathan has put this all in front of me. I didn't even realize it until just now. Thank you, buddy. And like I'm saying, like the book, like you can find these at cigar shop. Maybe you pay attention to them, maybe you don't. But when this comes with your cigars, you're going to sit and read this. It's very interesting
Yeah,
stuff. It talks
especially
about
when it's
every
the
blend.
cigars I'm smoking, right?
Right. So, we really, this, like a book like this doesn't come with every subscription. This is something that they make for anyone in general. This isn't something they made up for us personally. So I don't want to think that everyone gets this cool book, but I'm glad that people do this month. Some brands do have different items or different, promotional materials that they put in this, and some don't. But in any way, I really like when there's literature, because I know that my customers appreciate it. I think they like to read it. They like to know what's going on, and they like to be informed, and they like to tell other people when they know something about a cigar that others don't. So they like to share the knowledge.
And like the brand you have this month, Crown Heads. I mean, I really just discovered Crown Heads probably within the last 6 months, and they've been around forever. And
yeah, those are the old guys from CAO. I've worked with a lot of that team. Is the team that I worked with Tarano. So I'm in, Miguel and we've been friends since we were both field reps, in the same territory. Same with McGee is with Crowned Heads. I've known these guys like my whole career in tobacco. So I'm really close with some of these people, because we've worked hand in hand for many years.
well, that's a great advantage. I mean, that so many of these guys compared to a lot of the other,
I think it puts me at a unique spot, because I've known a lot of these people as colleagues, or competitors, or whatever you want to call it. But we sat at the same table, so to speak. I mean,
yeah, whether you're
to some
competitors
degree.
or on the same team, you're still in the same group. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's a different relationship. So then when I call them and I say, hey, I want to buy your cigars from you, they don't mind one bit. Now they get to take my money. So it's been fun reconnecting with some people too.
That's awesome, man. So like, tell me how the subscription works. I mean, is it a monthly subscription where you sign up and you can?
Well, that's another thing too. I didn't even get to finish. We even have more options. So in addition to those options, there's also, if you only want strong cigars, we have a program for you. If you only want mild cigars, we have a program for you. If you only want skinny cigars, or fat cigars, or short cigars, or long cigars,
Wow.
we got a program for you. Now those programs that all of the ones I just mentioned, they don't come with the information sheets, because they're very individual, and it would just take a lot of time to make individual sheets for all of these programs. But the information's out there, and the information's on our site. We just don't take the time to make a sheet for some of these other subsidiary subscriptions. But usually those people that want a fine-tuned subscription, they know what it is anyway, or they know how to get that information when you're really fine-tuning your game. But otherwise, most of our subscribers are in the regular 2, 5, and 8 program, because this is what changes all. So this is kind of the momentum of the program.
And so, I mean, if you do a month, like, can you cancel or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no sign up fees or any cancellation. There's nothing like that. You can sign up and cancel. If you signed up today and canceled immediately after, it wouldn't even cancel. It wouldn't cancel your order. It would just cancel your subscription, and that order would ship out, and you wouldn't have to worry about a subscription. Gotcha. It's real easy. You can sign up for 7. You can get cigars delivered every 7 days, every 15 days, every 30 days, every
Damn.
60 days, every 90 days, every 180 days. If you want cigars you want to send somebody cigars just on their birthday every year and know that you don't have to worry about forgetting their birthday, you can set up a birthday program where they're going to get cigars on their birthday every single year.
Man,
You
you've
don't have to worry about it.
you've thought out all the options. That's badass.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to navigate all those options, but they're there. I mean, they're there, and it's hard to promote it, and it's hard to speak of all of the options that we carry. And we'll write cards. You want a card written, you're going to get a nice card inside if these are gifts. We do a lot of gifts, so we truly try to. We will even wrap it for you if you want them wrapped. Whatever our customers want, we take care of them.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, I love all the options where you can go, maybe 1 month I want to do all medium cigars. Next month I want to go, full blown bombs. And the next month
you would have to cancel each one though, because you'd have to cancel that subscription.
Right, but I could do that.
The mild ones. Yeah, sure. But I'm just saying, otherwise you're starting new ones every single month and and then you'll end up getting all of them. But you'd have to, and again, we have live chat on our website. We have, easy way to communicate with us, and we can make anything happen for our customers. Some customers have messaged and say, hey, is there any way I can get, we'll just say crowned heads since we brought them up. Can I just get 8 crowned heads every month? Sure. We'll make one up for you. So we'll make up a whole new program just for a customer because that's what he wants. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't show up on our website. It's not something people can buy. But if enough people want to do it, we'll open that up. But we have, a good handful of customers that kind of have their own built-in subscription. It's what they wanted, and it's easy for us to fulfill. So we do it.
Wow. That's doing exactly what your customer wants.
Well, they don't get to shop our store, so we try to give them as many options as possible. We don't want to pigeonhole them into forcing them into something they don't want. We want to know that there's a lot of play here. We want them to be happy. Every box it says customer satisfaction guaranteed. It's not just on there. I mean, I stand by it.
And the fact that you're not charging shipping on top of the price, that's pretty.
Oh, don't remind me. It's the worst. It's the worst.
Was that a bad idea?
Yes. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's not free. And price goes up all the time. And our subscriptions haven't changed since 2019. Our cigar prices have increased. Our shipping costs have increased. Our cost of doing business have increased. And I have not changed the pricing of any of our programs, since we started in 2019.
Well, that's kind of a tough pill to swallow on your end.
It is, but for now, that's to me, it's just the right way to do business.
Yeah, that's a tough pill for me to swallow. It's like, wow, no shipping fee, and like you said, they go up all the time.
All the time, yeah. They just went up again. I think in January they went up.
It makes sense because gas goes up. They got to recoup that money.
Correct. Yeah, just trickles down to everybody.
Yeah,
but. Like I said, right now it's still the same price as the day we started. So we're
sign up real soon. Sign up real soon.
Yeah, right. So and then in addition to even those programs, then let's say you've got XYZ cigars that you really like. Well, we've got all kind of samplers. You can get anything you could imagine that's been in our program. We obviously have stock of, so we could sell that as well. One other program we have, which I didn't mention, is called the buddy system. So let's say you got a couple of buddies or one buddy. It doesn't even matter. How many does it go to? Is it 4? So you can have up to 4 buddies into this system, okay? And how it works is depending on which way you order it, because there's a lot of options with the buddy system, depending on how many cigars and how many buddies you have. But it would come in pairs. So if you've got one buddy, you're going to get, for an 8-pack, you're going to get 4 cigars, 4 pairs of cigars, so that you and your buddy can smoke the same cigar, have 4 of them. And if you've got more buddies, then you would get 3 pairs of 4 or whatever, depending on how you do it, depending on how many buddies. But that's the buddy system. So you can split a Stogy Bird, if you will, too. So you don't have, you can split it with your buddy.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this, though. So are you shipping those in one box?
No, they go to one house.
Okay, good. I was like, you're not taking a beating on the shipping to 2 different.
No. They go to one house. We assume this buddy is in the same area. If you live in a different state, then you should send him a gift subscription, and you guys can both just have the same thing. That doesn't make sense to do it that way. They can both sign up for the 5, or they can both sign up for the 2 and still have that. This is more for a guy that just wants kind of look. Part of this business since I've been in is the famous word box split. Let's do a box split. So we offer that with our subscription. You can do a subscription split, if you will. Granted, that gets taken care of on their end, not on our system. We don't split pay or anything like that, or split shipping. But it's just something that you could talk with a bunch, your buddy. Hey, I really don't want to spend $60 a month. You want to go 30? Yeah, sure. Boom. And they get what they want. So, we do it all. We offer a lot of options.
Yeah, you got a lot of options. So do you still blend cigars and have your own line of cigars? Tell me about that.
Since Stogiebird has started in 2019, I do have the number. What's the number of cigars? The number of cigars we have. It's like almost 30. I think it's like 20 something.
Just an SPH, right?
Just cigars that our stuff that we worked on. It's not just even anything that was exclusive that we worked on the blend or was just to us.
I have a good question. So how many cigars have we released?
Yeah.
10 Finish Fresh, 10 American Rebel, and
close to 30. And in under 4 years, we have released just under. Wait a minute, are we going over 30 now? We're going over 30.
Wow.
Around, let's say 32 new blends to the market we have been responsible for in less than 4 years.
Wow. That's
now it's absurd because look, I've worked on every facet of this industry. I've been in sales, I've been in marketing, I've been a brand owner, I've been in the fields, I've been in the factories. I know how to roll cigars, and now I'm on retail, and now I'm on, wholesale, and we do direct to consumer. So it's like, I don't know what else part of this business that I haven't gotten it, but when I was, when you're a brand owner, you're lucky to release 1 to 2 cigars a year, and that takes all year to even do that. And we've done 30 in under 4 years. We launch them in bursts. Like we did the Vintage Fresh program. Can you do me a favor and get me a cool box of bands? I'm gonna have. Thank you, Nathan. I'm gonna have. We'll have to get him on screen here. So
who's this Nathan guy? He just boom delivers on, request.
Nathan is the man. He's the VP of Stogiebird. He has been with me since 2010.
Wow.
And he's done all of my websites, photography, marketing, all that stuff since 2010. And I couldn't do it without him. But anyway, so we have a brand called Vintage Fresh, which is, I know how it sounds, but when you hear the concept, that name sounds perfect. So Pennsylvania, again, one of the largest, at one time, it was the largest grower of tobacco in the world and the largest producer of cigars in the world. At one time, Pennsylvania was. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of history, a lot of things in warehouses, if you will, that still exist. So I went and bought a bunch of old brands that still had packaging. So if they had bands that existed and whatever boxes, whatever they had, I grabbed those. And some I registered, some I didn't need to because it didn't matter, but they're mine. So some of these bands were printed over 100 years ago.
Wow.
They're not remakes.
Awesome. No shit. So the cigar has the actual band.
Yes.
Wow.
I did not remake this. I didn't recreate the art. I didn't reprint any single thing with regards to Vintage Fresh. Some of these bands were printed in the early 1900s. The oldest band we had, I think, was 1890s or something. And they're in ridiculous shape. They've always been, they have glue tabs. To show you how good of condition these are in. A majority of these bands have a glue tab on it, which you just moisten like an envelope, if you will, okay? So if these bands were in any kind of bad climate, all of that glue would stick to each other and these bands would just be a solid brick.
And they're just
and
like
they're
new.
not.
Wow.
They're brand new. They're sealed. The majority of them are sealed. I'm cutting them open for the first time in 100 years.
Wow.
So it's so that's our vintage fresh program. We've got I think 10 on the website right now. We've got a lot in production as we speak. We're going to be going a national program with vintage fresh. We're going to get distribution, and it'll be in retail because of what we got going. We've got a lot going on with vintage fresh. It's a real fun program that we're getting a lot of manufacturers behind. So Espinosa makes some for us. Padilla makes some for us.
I'm gonna
Caldwell.
Guess, does Espinosa do the Lord Sterling?
No, he does not.
Oh.
That Lord Sterling is undisclosed.
Okay.
I could tell you off camera.
So I'm on your website and I pulled it up. And first of all, I love the fact that Nathan made it to where you can zoom in real close to each one of them and actually read the bands. These bands.
He's giving you props. He's giving your artwork props that you could read it. Come say hello, Nathan. This is Nathan.
Hello, Nathan. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thanks. He can't hear anything, but I got these.
Hey, man, these bands are awesome. I mean, it is old school, but they are beautiful in their simplistic nature. All
right, show me. I'm going to show you one of these boxes. Yeah, give me that. Good. So, what year is this one?
Oh, no way.
1915.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see that on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1915. And which one is that?
I'll show you. I'll open this all up. But this is how they come.
Wow.
Try to do this so you can see it.
Oh, no way. Wow. That's not like a few bands. That's
there's like 100.
A lot of bands.
Yeah, it's funny because somebody's like, oh, yeah, you just bought some bands off eBay. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that.
How many bands are in that box?
About 100,000.
Wow. That
this is
cool.
This is one we're doing with Robert Caldwell. This is the Odd Moments. And
that is super cool, man.
We've got that's going to be a really cool cigar. We had to make a mold for it. A lot of these bands are not very wide, so they're for smaller ring gauge cigars. And we came up with a whole new size for this this Odd Moments with Caldwell. That's all I can say right now. We got a minute for that.
I'll tell you, there's another one that I love is the Peter Schuler.
Yeah, Peter Schuyler.
Oh, that is awesome, man.
What year is this one? 1949.
1949. Oh, I love that band. That is crazy.
I don't know if you can kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah. And they're all just like new.
Brand new.
Yeah.
And you see the glue tab?
Yeah.
Yeah, these would all be stuck. They're not.
That is crazy. So where did you find these at? I mean, you just went around to these warehouses that used to be?
Well, you know,
is that a trade secret?
Well, to some degree, but I mean, I'm a pretty resourceful person. If there's something I'm looking for, I'll find a way to get it. You know, and I think just after talking to enough people and talking to the right people, I met a great guy who was the grandson of this one company. And when I say grandson, he is 84 years old.
Wow.
So we're not talking about a spring chicken grandson. And his family owned the whole thing. So he still has the buildings, and he has the original Ford truck that used to drive between the warehouses. So this guy keeps everything.
Does it still run?
Oh, of course. It's in, yeah. I mean, it never leaves the area. So it's never really even been on the road.
So yeah, are you looking, you said you were looking at moving into a 6,000 square foot building possibly. Is it one of those? No.
It's actually an old church is what we're looking at.
Oh.
But beautiful ceilings. It's just so you can have the ring and people can jump and not have to worry about it.
Very
get in
cool.
their head.
Well, that is cool, man. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to have to order some of these because this is badass. Now, how
So
did you go about blending?
this is that's one of our oldest ones.
That's the
And
Peggy
that's,
O'Neill.
yeah, that's Peggy. There's a lot of history about her, a lot of information on the web. Not a ton, but she was quite the character. You'd find more of her stuff on Microfiche, which a lot of these brands, you're not going to be able to Google them because there's just no data on them because they're just so old. You can find them; they're in newspapers. These were huge brands, so like I said, you can find them in libraries on Microfiche, but you're not going to find these on Google. You know what I mean? Because why? There's nobody. There's no reason to.
Yeah, we actually did an episode once about the
1883 is the
oops, pause.
Can you hear me?
I can. So we'll go right
Okay.
off of that. 1883.
Yes.
That is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's really cool. It's really cool. That's the oldest band we have, and we're out of it. Like, this isn't available anymore. This particular one.
So, how did you go about making the blends for each one of these vintage bands?
Well, you name it. There's a story. Either it's something that I worked hand in hand with some of the factories. In some case, it was hey, we have this. Do you want to, so I'll send you some samples. This is a good size. We've got X amount. Give this a try. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So there's a lot of, sometimes it was made. Sometimes we get it made. Most cases we make them. But in some cases it's kind of a lost and found thing. And I can say that because Caldwell's one of my biggest partners. Sometimes it's along those lines. And in fact, he's going to be heading up two of our biggest vintage fresh lineups in this year. They should whatever be available. But those are going to be the biggest quantities we've done in the vintage fresh line. So they should be all over the country and in cigar stores.
Gotcha. So if I order the vintage fresh sampler and I get the 20 pack, what comes in that?
Well, you're gonna get, one thing about too, when you make an order on Stogiebird, there's a section on your order for notes. And in that section, and unless it is my 2, 5, or 8, unless it's an in-stone subscription, if you're buying something a la carte that's not a subscription, and I say that because a subscription is automated, there's thousands of them. I can't, it's like taking a needle out of a haystack to make any changes to a customer's subscription. Once it's locked into a subscription, it would be like changing one page out of a magazine subscription for a customer. It's just, yeah, that's a whole other world. But if anyone that buys something, a la carte, if they buy, samplers such as, like you're saying, the vintage fresh sampler or whatever, there's a section in the notes, and we read we're supposed to. I laugh because I'm picking on Nate because there's one time but whatever.
One time out of how many?
Right. So, but we read the notes. So if somebody says, hey, I would prefer, if they could all be Peter Schuyler's, boom. Okay, we'll do that. We try to accommodate the notes. So if you say like, hey, I'd like, if there's any chance I could get, more Maduros, or, maybe if you could make these, majority of these full bodied, or, whatever the strongest ones of the vintage fresh line is, could you send those? Yeah. We do that. So, we try to accommodate the best we can. But if there's nothing said, what you would get 2 of all of them. So you would get, Nathan has been kind enough to bring these up here for you. There's the El Mezzo. I don't know where the camera's at.
Oh yeah. I saw that one too. That's awesome.
You'd get this whole lineup. This was our first one, the red tips. Well, this was 1923. Was this band?
Yeah, that is so cool. And what's the
This was
ring gauge?
Espinosa. Espinosa made this. For us.
Okay. And what kind of ring gauge is that red tip?
This he's pulling out his credit card already, man.
I'm actually ordering right now. I mean,
he's literally ordering right now.
I didn't know you could see me here.
The red tips is what size is this? It's a 6x48, I believe.
Oh,
46.
that's perfect. I love those vintage ring gauges.
Yeah, for sure. I really like the size of these. And the Lord Sterling is this box press Lancero, which you had already mentioned.
Yeah, that's just beautiful. All right, man.
This cigar.
Hey, I ordered it. I'm gonna be smoking it. You know what? I'm gonna smoke it on the show too. Some.
Now I want you to know what's interesting though is, I've been making cigars like I said 20 years. So usually you're in a factory and you're working on blends and you're kind of going that route. And sometimes you're coming up with a name and something hits you. You're like, oh, I need to make a cigar behind that, and so you start building up a brand and then you need to put a blend to it. What's interesting though is not doing any of that and having just some of the coolest stuff that exists and now that you own. And when you get a band like this Lord Sterling, it's like, well, I've got to get a blend that is worthy of this band.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it's a bit of, there's a lot of pressure too, because you want something
be a lot of pressure.
Live up.
You're bringing back, I mean, basically you're bringing cigars back from the dead. They better be good.
Well, I would imagine all of these would be better than they were. The majority of these would all been of machine-made cigars. Some of them would have been handmade, but it would have been very mild. I don't think anyone would have cared for these blends. The palates have changed so much. Look, nobody was even drinking dark spirits, 20 years ago. It was all vodkas and, people get into heavier beers, or getting into heavier spirits, or getting into heavier cigars. So palates are just a lot more developed in general. So I don't think you would like any of the original blends. But when I see, and again, the detail on this band, this isn't doing it any justice, but the embossing and the gold flake.
Yeah, if you really want to take a look at it, run over to the website because Nathan has it where you can click
or buy it. You can hand it right in your hands.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a legit artifact that's 100 years old.
I'm stoked about it. You know what? It's like I may have to buy another sampler just because I don't want to smoke them.
And once these are gone, they're gone. We're not going to recreate these bands.
Well, you did say you had 100,000 bands, so
right. But I mean, not all of them. Some of them we don't. There are some bands I have as little as 200.
Oh wow!
But I have them. I mean, I'm not going to probably do anything with those, but but once the bands are gone, they're gone. This is the Merchant Queen.
That's cool. That is very cool. So let me ask you this: what kind of what's the package look like whenever I receive the package?
Okay. Show me I need a Stogy Bird. Okay. So whatever you get, this thing's all cut. I'm going to open one up for you, man. We're going to get an unboxing here.
All right. This
is a Stogiebird 8. So I say this because if you were to order anything off our website, it's still going to come in this is how it's still going to come. What's in it would be based on what you ordered, but everything comes this way, unless you bought a box or something that wouldn't fit in our packaging. But if you bought a sampler, something that can fit in this is how it comes. You get this.
Oh, nice.
So initially, we used to have tubes. I don't think we have any of those up here, but anyway, we used to have tubes, and now we went to a box. So I wanted this to be the shipping sleeve, if you will, but it turned out so beautiful that I couldn't bear just throwing that in the mail. So I went out, so we had to get them put into these boxes. We bought a box for a box for a box. But these are so cool, it just slides out of here.
Very nice box, man. Nice presentation.
And then you get the Stogy Bird in there. You can see it or not.
So when are you going to make a cigar that has a band that is the Stogy Bird?
Could you get me the Stogy Bird band?
You got them already.
the Blackbird Raven, the special edition. Anyway, so you would get they would come into this box. You come into it'd be and here's what's special about these bags. Your cigars come in this bag is a vapor locked. It comes vacuum sealed with a Boveda pack. Now, Boveda has rated our system to keep your cigars fresh for over a year.
No way. Wow.
Now, and that's provided that they're sealed and kept, obviously, in a cool place. They can't be out on your dashboard or whatever.
And they on a summer day.
Right, but especially if they've never been opened, because these come vacuum sealed. Like there's not any air in the bag. So if you've never, there would be no different than the fresh packs you could get at some of the convenience stores where they, you wonder how they can stay fresh. This is the same system. Okay. It's the same system. So we ship international. Sometimes cigars get held up in customs. Sometimes, they get whatever, for whatever reason. Whenever these cigars get to you, if they come late or if you have any issues or you forget about them, they're going to be fresh. They're going to be just fine. Then, we pride ourselves on how we ship these.
Yeah.
So
you can tell by, I can see. Oh, badass, man. Love it.
Yeah. This is a limited edition Unkind. And this band is not this cigar. This has a Habano wrapper on it. It's not the same one. It's a special edition.
Oh, that's a special edition of that cigar.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we do.
Awesome, man. Love it. And you know what? I love the fact that you let's not lie. It costs money to do the packaging that you've done. That's not cheap. I know what packaging is, and the fact that you make a product that's worthy to be a nice presentation. You're not just throwing stuff in a box. You're not just throwing stuff in a black Ziploc bag.
Right. There's a lot of care in this because we want these cigars to be ready to smoke as soon as they come to your door. And look, that's something, being in the business as long as I have, it's important that the cigars are transported properly, and so that they're not damaged, and so that they are smokable, and so that they can last if if you want to.
It's the whole experience.
Right. Right. So, and by our prices, we are not more expensive than any of our competitors. So you're not paying for any of this packaging or the shipping. I'm simply eating.
Right. You're eating.
Eating. Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about that after we get done recording. I'm super stoked about what I just ordered off your website. I can't wait to get them. And honestly, the band sold me already, but the cigars look beautiful. And so go by their website, stogiebird.com, check out the vintage fresh, and you can click on it and it zooms in so you can see each cigar really close up.
And this is something that Blackbird makes for us called the Ruffed Grouse. So if you're familiar with Blackbird, their whole lineup,
I haven't had that one.
Well, this is only available from Stogiebird. The Ruffed Grouse is the state bird of Pennsylvania.
Oh, good.
So that's why we went with Ruffed Grouse. It's beautiful gold.
Nice band,
it's gorgeous. And this is the Ruffed Grouse. So this is only available from us. He will probably put that on the market. I would imagine either if it's not this year, it'll be next year. I don't want to hold him to the fire with it being exclusive. It's a great cigar. It needs to be in his lineup. So I don't want to hold that brand hostage. These are some of the ones that Nathan had worked on the banding. We did a Halloween themed stuff. This was an apothecary series.
Yeah, that looks very vintage too. That looks very.
This was frog legs. We did kind of an eye of a whole witch's brew.
Nice.
And this was the shark's tooth. Is that what that is?
So Nathan does all the artwork there?
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, these were kind of vintage looking, it's kind of the way we went. This was bat wings.
It has that 1920s, 1930s look to it.
Yeah, we're a big fan of that. And then, when you get your subscription, you're going to get, we always do custom stickers. So you'll get all kind of goofy stuff. We probably make 40,000 stickers a month, maybe less, a little less than that. When we just do custom goofy stuff, there's a Space Invaders, whatever.
Nice.
Anybody into South Park, a little tally. So whatever, we just do random stuff. And then you would get an information sheet. This breaks down, all the information on the cigars. Breaks down the blend, factory, place of origin. I don't really put any opinions on that. That's really just kind of a fact sheet.
Yeah.
But I will have any ratings that it might have. Anything pertinent will be at the bottom. Like if they got, cigar of the year, I'll note it. Things like that. There'll be kind of like a little note section. But I don't do any subjective writing in any of it. I just kind of factual. Let everybody else kind of make their own opinions on the cigars because they're going to anyway.
But I mean, let me ask this. You're like an elite guy when it comes to knowing cigars. You have the experience. And so my question is, do you ever read a cigar review and then smoke that cigar and be like, yeah, they were spot on. I tasted that burnt peanut butter.
No, rarely.
We don't do reviews.
But I'm real open-minded when it comes to that. Like, I'm not a review. I don't really watch a lot of those videos or anything. But at the same time, if I'm looking for something outside of cigars, I'm going to look at reviews. And sometimes I want a review from a novice. Maybe I want to know what the layman thinks of it. I don't want to know what an expert thinks of it sometimes. So I don't really, I don't have an issue with anyone doing reviews. It's their opinion, and however they do
I'm
it.
just saying it's
good.
So
well, I know, but there's some animosity towards some of these reviewers, and I know that's not what you were pointing at, but I was kind of bringing that up.
No, I just mean that like my palate is not like I tell you if I think it's a great cigar, a good cigar, or I'm probably not going to smoke it again. That's about the gist of my palate because, your palate's not going to taste what mine does. And I can tell that.
No, and there's so many factors. There's so many factors that are in play with your palate. What did you eat? What did you drink? What's going on? There's a lot of, all of that affects your flavor. When we go into blending, and I'm sure a lot of guys are like this. I mean, I'm only drinking water. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating breakfast. I'm just drinking water and I'm just sampling tobacco. I don't want any effects. I don't want to have anything garlic or pepper. So I don't want anything on my palate but water. I won't even brush my teeth that morning. I don't want that on my breath. I mean, I don't want a lot of, whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Right.
Brush them the night before.
Now,
if I'm going, I just don't want to taste anything but what I'm trying to taste.
Well, I was reading just by chance last week, and did you know your taste buds replace themselves every 10 to 14 days?
I did not know that. But and at the same time, your tongue only has really 4 senses.
Right.
There's sweet at the tip, which is why you lick an ice cream cone that way. You've got salt, sour, and bitter on the back, which is what gives you your aftertaste. And then it's your nose that you really get a lot of senses. You've got 40 senses out of your nose and over 200 secondary senses out of your nose. So that's a lot that's coming here, more than here.
And that's why when you find that beautiful stick, you just got to retrohale for at least I do. If you find that stick that's really good on the retrohale, it's just so enjoyable.
For sure. Absolutely.
So what else you got cooking up? I can tell you're a guy that is like going 100 miles an hour in 100 different directions.
You have no idea. No idea. Well, we've got some new stuff coming with wrestling. We've got another wrestler we teamed up with that we'll be doing probably in the next few months. That should be ready. We've got a lot going. Vintage Fresh there's a lot of things being in production as we speak. There's just kind of a lot of moving parts going on right now. It's exciting. It's exciting. Too much going on.
I completely understand. I'm going 100 different ways myself, and it's like, but it's fun. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. The busier I am, the happier I am.
No doubt. No doubt. I like being busy. I like being busy.
Well, cool, man. Well,
This is fantastic, by the way. This alibi from Espinosa. Fantastic.
I have not had the alibi.
These are available. I think we actually even have these on 4-packs now too. No, not yet. They will be.
Okay.
They will be. This is this month. That's why this is in this month's subscription. This comes in the 8-pack.
Oh, nice.
This is one of the 8. This comes in the 8-pack. Well, and that's one interesting too about the sheet, is you know what everybody gets. This sheet, this is the 2-pack. So you're going to get these 2 cigars. If you get the 5, you're going to get these 2 cigars plus these 3 cigars. And if you get the 8, you get everything on the same, everything on the page. And it says it right here. This is 2, 5, 8. So you know what you're missing, and you know all the time. Which I guess probably why our 8 is our best seller, because
Yeah,
people see what they're not getting.
Right. I mean, I want to smoke all of those.
But I at least want everybody to know what they got and what they didn't get.
Well, that's awesome, man. So tell everybody where they can find Stogiebird on social media. Your website's easy. It's stogiebird.com.
Everything's Stogy Bird. Yeah. So, and we're on everything. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What is it? What's the other one? What's the business one?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. We're on all of them. We're on everything. And it's Stogy Bird. It's just Stogy Bird. My personal one is Sam Leccia on all of those as well. But Stogy Bird.
Okay, cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time and hang out with us and tell us all about what you're doing. That is awesome.
We did do a promo code for you.
Oh, awesome.
And it's
thanks for sharing it before I made my order.
Well, I'll toss in some extras for you. I was planning on it anyway.
I'm messing with you.
It's Cigar Talk 15.
Okay.
Is the code, and the discount is 15% off.
Ooh, that's huge.
It is. It's one of our better discounts for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you're getting free shipping. I think
right. It's a break-even deal.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, that's very generous of you guys. We appreciate it. 15%. So Cigar Talk 15, and you'll get 15% off and free shipping. Dude, that's a no-brainer. We'll put, in fact, we will put down in the show notes the link, so you don't even have to type it in. You just click on the link down in the show notes, and it'll take you straight over there. And we'll put the code next.
Coupon code in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, man. You surprised me, and you gave away a year subscription for auction for Cigars for Warriors. Man, that's a big gift. Thank you.
Right on, man. My pleasure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And we've never met. We've never known each other. So here we go.
Yeah,
so
we started yesterday. We met yesterday.
Just started big things.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, hey, thank you again, and we'll have this episode out in the very near future, and I will send you a link to it, and we'll get it going, man.
Sounds great, brother. Thank you again.
All right, man. Thank you so much. All right, guys, you know what? We forgot to do the trivia questions. And so right before we get done, I thought about it. And so he agreed to come back and do the trivia questions. Let me find my trivia page right quick.
I hope I'm good at it.
Let's see. All right. These are different categories. What is Hawkeye's real name?
I don't know.
Clint Barton.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I mean,
Hawkeye. And where's Hawkeye from? What's that from? Is that from
MASH?
Oh yeah, I hated MASH. As soon as that song would come up, I changed the channel. God, I hated that show. Hated MASH.
What is the name of Batman's butler?
Again, you know what's funny? I am so not I just got asked a superhero question. I'm like anti-superhero too. Hold on. I should know this though. I should know this. It's not Jeeves. Jeeves would be my first guess because every butler should be named Jeeves. I don't know. Is it? It's not Bruce Wayne. Is his
I'll
name?
let you do a phone
I
a
don't know.
friend with Nathan.
What Nathan? What's his butler's name? Batman. Alfred.
Boom. See, we're going to give you
Yeah.
credit for that one. I knew Nathan.
Yeah. I don't know any. I hate superhero stuff. Like I don't know what. I couldn't even name one character. And what are the things called?
Superhero.
There's two major comic books.
Oh, DC and Marvel.
I couldn't even tell you who belongs to which.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I know I'm good enough to know that. All right.
No idea.
How many films did Sean Connery play James Bond in? And I'll give you multiple choice. 4, 7, 13, or 21.
Wow, my initial call was 4, which means it must be more than 4. I still thought it was 4. I'm going with 4.
4 is incorrect. It's 7.
There you go. That was my next guess. How many Sean Connery Bond movies? I'm not a Bond fan either. I'm so bad at this. I'm so good at trivia, but not these trivia.
Hey, maybe this one will get you.
I've seen maybe one Bond movie.
Hey, when Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls, how many NBA championships did he win?
As a Bull?
Yes.
6.
Boom, he gets another one right.
He three-peated twice.
Bam. And you know what? I've really never been a basketball fan since.
He won 3 in a row and then 3 in a row. And he should have won 8. He took a year off. He could have won 10.
All right. In which period did ballet originate? I know you don't know this one. It's the Italian Renaissance.
There you go. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Let's see. Which Williams sister has won more Grand Slam titles?
Serena.
Boom. And I'm going to guess you don't know her sister's name anyway. So you had that one down. All right. Which Jamaican runner is an 11-time world champion and holds the record in the 100 and 200 meter race?
Usain Bolt.
Bam, he gets another one. Which country produces the most coffee in the world?
Country. Ethiopia.
Brazil. You're slacking a little bit.
Slipping.
What is the smallest country in the world?
It's got to be an island. Guam.
The Vatican City.
Oh, wow. That's a country.
That is its own country. All right, man. You won a Cigar Talk t-shirt. We're not going to talk about your score on the show. Shoot me a text with your address.
All right.
And I'll get you one sent over, brother. All right, man. I did say you get to ask me any 2 questions you want. And I will not lie.
What's one cigar you'll never smoke again?
Deep dish.
Deep dish. Who made that?
Acid.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
All right. What's your porn name? So that would be your first dog in the street you grew up in.
My first dog, it would be.
Or pet. Doesn't have to be a dog. Pet.
Duke Geneva.
Boom. There it is. Duke Geneva. That's a good porn name.
Right. All right, man. Thanks again. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care, Sam.
Thanks again, brother.
Bye-bye.